Welcome to part 3 of this proper primer series. Today I'm going to prove to you without a doubt that DSP is in fact the one playing the WWE Champions account to this very day. All the way back in January 10th of 2020, user BT9494 decided to pop up on the Kiwi farms and make a new thread in the forum, claiming that DSP was in fact still playing WWE Champions because he found an account called They Call Me DSP sitting there on a leaderboard. My fellow farmers went to work. They found out everything that they could about uselessness, the faction that DSP was in. Remember, you had to reach level 5 to be even considered to join factions in this game in the first place. But this faction wasn't just your run-of-the-mill WWE Gacha game faction. No, it was an elite group of whales who went ahead to try to help each other get those sweet premium gacha pulls. Factions either used a couple different ways of communication. They either used the in-game chat feature or most ended up on Discord. This faction used Discord to communicate back and forth, and once the Kiwis got an inside mole, they found out that this DSP-related Discord account was talking and bragging about the pulls that he had to spend a ton of money on. For months, the debate raged back and forth if this was actually DSP or not, spending all of this money during the foreclosure saga and into the bankruptcy.
Yep, that is business related. I still have it.
And it didn't stop. This account was spending money, upwards of thousands and thousands of dollars per event per month. It was insane. I've never seen any kind of spending like this, and nor has some of the people in this faction, even though some have claimed to see higher amounts of spending to get these gacha pulls. Detractors were keeping track on how this account talked, how it acted, what times it logged in on, and somehow it all kind of ended up lining up. It talks like DSP, it acted like DSP, it mentioned victimizing like DSP. Oh, and it went as far as to log in during DSP's breaks during his streaming schedule. Events rolled by, cards were pulled, a bankruptcy was still coming to terms. The 341 meeting happened, and DSP got a little confused and stammered and tripped up during it when Nancy asked some very specific questions.
Okay, what is WWE Network?
Can you repeat that, please?
What is WWE Network?
WWE
Oh,
Network.
WWE Network. That is just an on-demand video service for watching, professional wrestling. That is not business related.
Okay.
Oh, that was close, Phil. You're lucky that she didn't ask you about WWE Champions spending, right? Oh, that would have been the nail in the coffin. Well, luckily for us, DSP actually ends up shooting himself in the foot once again. Or the hoof, as I should say. But his mod channel leaked out of Discord, and the Kiwis found out that the user matched up with the user from WWE Champions. Now, there was a bit of a debate on whether it was faked or not. And to me, personally, I knew that you had to have Nitro to be able to change your user tag on Discord, but you couldn't have the same user tag numerically as a different user. So it was pretty funny to me that this account doesn't have Nitro, it matches DSP, it talks like DSP, it is DSP, it has to be at this point. DSP started banning people mentioning WWE Champions. He was also denying the fact that he was still playing the game, even though he was still playing mobile gacha games when he flew out to visit his sick and dying parents. I mean, to actually have a wedding with Kat in April of 2020. He said that he played mobile games on the flight out to see his parents.
The things that we did, we wanted internet on the flight because we're like, we're not going to sit here for 5.5 hours doing nothing. So we looked into it, and for Delta, you can get internet on the flight, but you have to pay for it. They have free internet that's slow as dirt and doesn't really work very well, or you could pay for the high-speed internet, and then you could get it on the flight. So we went ahead of time the night before. This is one of the things we did Saturday night. We had looked up on Delta flights, how do you get in-flight internet? $16 a person, okay? And there's a website you do it. I forgot the website already. I completely forgot it. It might be like flyfi or something like that, .com. And you have to purchase it ahead of time. So I did. Some of the funds my mom gave me went towards it to get us internet for the flight. And I bought 2 passes and gave them my email address. All right, here's the email address to send the passes to or whatever for this in-flight internet. Great, sounds good, right? So it was like $32, I think, for both of us. We'll both have internet for the whole flight, 6+ hours. It's worth it, so we're not bored. Screen that's built into every seat, and so you can track your flight. So we messed around with that for a bit. Finally, we're like, okay, we're at the height we want to do. Want to mess with our phones, get on the internet, maybe play some mobile games or whatever. So they did have charging, but the charging was USB only. It didn't have power sockets on this plane. It was USB charging. So I brought my charging cable. I plugged it in. We started plugging it into our phones. We're like, it says it's charging, but it's not going up. It was the slowest charging I've ever seen in my life.
But this is Kiwi Farms, right? We need to prove without a doubt that this is DSP, one and the same on both accounts. Meet Kiwis. This is a linguistic software that takes writing samples from different users and compares them to make sure that they're not the same user. And guess what? This thing matched with a certainty. Now, it's accurate with upwards of an 85 percentile on this thing. This thing matched it at almost 100%. Even the computer wasn't fooled that this isn't DSP at this point. Even with all of this information mounting up against DSP, he still denied the fact that he was playing this card game. Bans kept happening at anybody who had mentioned the amount of money plus WWE Champions in general. And it's pretty funny because he denies it out front. Even though he's been playing this game for years behind the scenes, he just doesn't want to have you know how much money he's actually spent into this black hole.
I don't follow this shit, and I'm so confused in my head. This guy says Supercard, someone else says it's another game. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about anymore. Because even you idiots can't get your shit straight, so I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't care. I'm not going to waste fucking time holding phones up and showing you shit. You're out of your fucking mind. In addition, like I said, chances are, what would happen? I hold it up. Oh, God, there was something on the screen now that's more personal information that got out that they can use against me. Fuck this. And fuck you for even bringing that shit up. How about that? All right.
Now a new player has entered the game. And if you recognize this face, you know what this means. Meet Nigel. He decides to fuck with people online sometimes, for his own enjoyment. He does his own thing. He likes to laugh and point at exceptional individuals on the internet. And, well, when not DSP keeps denying the fact that he is DSP, well, Nigel decided to go in and have a nice chat with some of the uselessness mods. After Nigel talked to the mods of the faction, not DSP was promptly booted out of the faction, for some pretty decent reasons. It got to the point where Not DSP was forced to make his own faction, all by himself, off in his own little corner of the WWE Champions universe. The Not DSP account made his own faction, sat around by himself, deleted that faction, and then made a brand new one, sitting there all by himself, and slowly pulled in a couple new members.
Joe Tago 13 Judy says, who are the placeholders? I don't know what the hell that means. But thanks for the cheer. The placeholders. No idea. Who are the placeholders? You mean in regards to this game? I don't know. Why do I guess it's another fucking meme of some sort that I just don't understand, right? Alright, let's head to the south.
On May 10th, 2020, he left his own faction to go ahead and seek out more gacha pulls and greener pastures. He joined the Road Warriors, another faction looking once again for another open wallet whale to fill their ranks. The Not DSP account became notorious in WWE Champions circles to not have him join your faction because of Nigel following him around. In late May, it looked like the Not DSP changed his account name, which is normally reserved for very, very special cases, apparently, because Scopely says in its terms of services that you cannot change your name unless if you get a new device to use the game on. But it looks like Scopely will go ahead and bend the rules a little bit if you've either dropped $40,000 plus in their video game, or you just go ahead and bitch too much. The Gun Show 84 was here now.
Let's see here. Call me Brazy to be $1.37. What's up, Phil? What does the Gun Show mean? I don't know. What are you talking about? What does the Gun Show mean? In reference to me, I have no idea. A gun show is a place where they publicly sell guns. A lot of people in the United States have an issue with that because they feel that those could be like, they could bypass the background check laws that are in effect to make sure that the wrong people don't get guns. And right now, a lot of people think that gun shows in the United States are very, very, not unlawful, but basically like a way for criminals and people who have checkered past to get around that kind of stuff. So they have a lot of issues with that. There's basically a big controversial thing in politics right now about gun shows in the United States. But outside of that, I don't know what you're talking about. Zixdal took me 20.
And it wouldn't be long before something else happened. Trolls followed the account wherever it went to. They went ahead and had him jump from faction to faction to faction, hot on his heels. Phil was running out of options. He didn't really know what to do, and then all of a sudden disappeared. Yet again, there was another name change, this time to an account that was pulled up as Down from the Rafters. And this is what it is to this day. So Phil actually got some special privileges to go over the 15 character limit. The game was still afoot. Kiwis were following Not DSP's account around from faction to faction. Away from the Road Warriors he went, bounced to one faction, back to the Road Warriors, and then bounced out once again. Because Nigel was there, and he was just giving everybody the business. And he was throwing it around. And the only thing that would have stopped Nigel is if Not DSP would somehow show some evidence that he wasn't actually DSP. But again, he refused every single time. Meanwhile, Phil was still sitting there on his love seat banning people for mentioning WWE Champions. He was denying the game outright, yet he wouldn't show evidence against this. He was asked to go ahead and show his account on stream, turn his phone and face the camera with it, with the account open. That would have debunked everything I've said in this video. Straight up, fast as fuck, would have shut any talk about it down. But Phil refused. He claimed that you couldn't show the phone screen clearly to the webcam that he was using. Even though, look at these screenshots. This is from recently during the whole Superhound, DMCA claim saga. Phil showed his screen multiple times, and he's even shown pizza on one occasion. I mean, this fat fuck, why can't you show WWE Champions, Phil? It's the smoking gun here. It's all he needs to do to shut any of this down to make me look like a dumb fuck. And I would be okay with that. I'm fine with being wrong. But at this point, the ball is in Phil's court. You can go and talk to him in his chat, and you'll probably get banned for mentioning WWE Champions still. Because the account's still active. He's still dumping money into it. You want to know where all that money went? It wasn't going to taxes. It was going to gacha pools. It's been going like that for years. This is Phil's problem. He's addicted to it. He doesn't see it, or he wants to deny it. There it is. That's all the evidence I can present to you in a nice little neat package that I've edited together to my best ability to make sure that this is clear. This is DSP playing this game. This is DSP spending $40,000 plus to pull out wrestling JPEGs playing a Bejeweled style mobile game. This is where all this money over all of these years has gone. This bills, this vortex that we have found, this is the black hole that is sucking all of DSP's money dry. Wow. I'm speechless. Phil, this is horrendous. It needs to stop. Get some help. You're spending all of your money, and you're calling them microtransactions for your business. It's scummy. It's going to catch you. Don't fuck with the IRS. I'm sure they'll be coming here soon. With all this other tax talk you have going on right now, you might be in a bit of trouble. But that's it, agents. That's all I got for this saga. As it continues on, we'll cover it still. Maybe I'll attach on another part later down the road, if Phil ever reveals the fact that he is playing this account. So hopefully you guys stay safe out there, and I'll see you soon with another proper primer.